the constitution of the current constitution that we have now says 1,000 francs should be meant for development in the bank. It seems like the general president have a different thought, because when we have an interview with him, he seemed to allude that or insinuate that the money should be used for running, paying transport, attending meeting, etc. I asked the question, he responded. Even my colleague there repeated the same question. He explained, he gave the same answer. Unfortunately, we're using a different platform. I could pull out those clips to play for you to listen if you never had the opportunity to listen to it. But I'm telling you that that is what the President General said, that the 1,000 francs is meant for him and the executive, pay transport, go to Limbe, go to Chang, and hold meeting and do whatever. Is that the intent of 1,000 francs development dues?
Mr. Director, if really the President General said that, I think maybe the question was not well articulated, maybe didn't understand the question where he was responding to a different perspective. However, it is well stated that this 1,000 francs is development due, development of the bank. And that's what the constitution says. There's nothing as saying that you're paying transport. It might be in cost of doing development, you pay a transport for somebody to go and do something, it's part of development. And if that's what the president said, I think he has to rectify himself, because the bank people hearing this might discourage them. 1,000 francs is for development of the bank. That during the meeting in Douala was raised to 2,000 francs. However, I know that this money, this 1,000 francs, is very, very minimal for the development of the bank. We need to partnership with so many other persons in order to work for the development of the bank. I think that will be discussed in a later session. How to partnership is very, very important, because if you see what we have been able to do, what, for example, LECUDO USA have done, it's not just contributions from the member itself, it's a partnership with many other persons. I think we have to be able to go above or beyond the 1,000 francs, 2,000 francs contribution for us to be able to work more on development.
Yes, I think, yes, we will talk. I think that is something that, if time permits, we will dwell so much on that. Let's just finish this item. We'll come back to that issue of partnership and making the LECUDO a global organization, as they say, the Kuru General, so that will really reflect what we are writing or saying. Still on this point, because the Constitution says, in course of that, the executive will be compensated a certain amount, maybe in logistics, maybe that's what the Constitution said, but not the 1,000. Let's move forward. The President General called your name during the interview, that you have been maybe the financial secretary for over 10 years, because we were trying to find out how the finances of the LECUDO is handled, because he was the former financial secretary before becoming the CEO in 2023. And we understood that money has been handled in people's pockets. So we're trying to see if he actually presented the bank record of how he has kept the money, he has safeguarded the money, the organization money. But he said the question should better be channeled to you who collect and keep money. So yeah, so it wasn't so clear. Like I said, unfortunately, we are not using the other platform. I could pull up that clip so that you could listen for yourself. Any response how the finances of the LECUDO has been handled?
Yeah, Mr. Director, I would like to say that whenever somebody, we are voting somebody in the post of responsibility, let us be ready to do the work. And sometimes, if you don't understand anything, it's always good to refer to those who you think that they might be better understand. Maybe the president did not understand exactly the financial situation of the past. And truly, I have been I was a financial secretary for 2 mandates. And one of my reasons for accepting to be a financial secretary was because of accountability. And the third mandate, when I came as a financial secretary, an account was created in the the main liquidated union that has been functioning till when I left. As concerns the finances, let me go straight to what at the end of this last mandate, where this the new mandate came up, that every end of mandate, a financial report has always been presented to the assembly. And this last mandate, we have the financial report that was not presented during the assembly. I will give you reason why later. And on that report, we had in the account that was created in the credit union, we had more than about 770,000 francs that was in that account. We had about 500,000 francs that was with the treasurer, who is the current president today, President General today. And I was with about 220,000 as we're earning. So we had a total of 1,490,000 francs. But you ask myself, why was the financial sector giving some money? This money that I had with me was because during the last meeting that election was held, it was agreed that all the finances should be transferred to the current treasurer. So that's why we had to balance up the account and hand it to the new treasurer. So we couldn't hand it to the financial secretary, to the treasurer before transferring other part of it again. And you asked me that what happened that the financial report was not read during the last expo meeting, that during the election in March.
Yes, yes, because that was a core question.
Yeah, I think that's where most of it are leading to. I would say that when we were elected, I was the financial secretary living in Yaoundé. The President General, Mr. William Bonfort, was in Limbe, and the treasurer was in Boya. So in due course of the mandate, most of the transaction was carried out between the treasurer, who was in Boya, and the president, who was in Limbe, and they could easily meet and discuss and move ahead for the good of Lebanon. Towards the end of the mandate, I wrote to the outgoing treasurer to send me his financial situation, what he has received, what he has spent without my knowledge. And he never responded. We had a meeting on the eve of the General Assembly to finalize the finance report. Unfortunately, the former treasurer, who is the current president, was not present. The meeting was held in Limbe. Most of the other executive members were there, but he was not present, and he did not send any finance situation. And during that meeting, we could not present a finance report because what the treasurer has spent or he received was only with him. And we agreed during the meeting that we should take that as a responsibility because the executive is the responsibility of the executive. And when we started the meeting in Boya, the next day, the meeting started at about 9 o'clock. At 3 minutes past 10, if you like, I will screenshot my conversation and that of the treasurer with the current president. At 3 minutes past 10, that was when he forwarded the situation to me. And it was not possible that with 1 hour into the meeting to compile a finance report and table to the assembly at that moment. However, we told the assembly that let them give us 2 weeks to finalize the report and send and then present it. That what was done. And I was not very comfortable with this behavior of keeping a report and depositing it or giving it only during the meeting. I am a little bit frank at this point saying this because it makes as if the LECUDO is not transparent. No, there's a lot of transparency. And if you like, I will send a copy of that final report that was sent to you, that was sent to the assembly. If you like, I will send to you all the different reports for every year that have been carried out. And this is how we ended the mandate with a balance of 1,490,000 francs that was sent to this current executive.
Okay.
So that's
Yes,
what I can say.
yeah, thank you for that wonderful narration. But there are a few things that I pick up from there. Um, when you live in Yaoundé, the former treasurer was in Boya, the former president was in Limbe, so they could easily commit. Therefore, means that the treasurer was receiving some money and not letting you know immediately within, say, 48-hour lifespan. We wait until maybe when you have to meet.
Yeah, so much money was collected at the level of the treasurer and spent without my knowledge. But the president, I think he worked together with the president, and
And
that
that's
president
why
was going
you're saying that they needed to, and even prior to the meeting, you never had the statement of that income and expenditure, which the meeting that was in
yeah,
Limbe. Then now when it comes
yeah,
to
I did not
election
have it.
time, yes, when it comes to election time, the meeting has started. The General Assembly, the meeting has started 1 hour into the meeting before he send you a copy of that statement via electronic copy.
Yeah, WhatsApp. It was sent to me at 3 minutes past 10.
When
I keep that
started at
record very
9.
well.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it started at 9.
I just want to get the reason why you were not able to present the statement, because the president said he presented his statement and everything in the General Assembly. We just want to make the point clear to the people. I think those that were in the meeting, the bank people that were in that meeting would testify, or which is which. Thank you so much for that, for taking the time.